Alright, so I'm back. Sorry, my phone went off as soon as I hit the go button. Anyway, I'm back, and today we're going to do a new rant of the week. And this one's actually about Transformers, like I promised it would be. No, I haven't really been ranting about Transformers lately. But anyway, this one is, I'm going to call it Polishing a Turd. Now, the title doesn't really reflect everything that I'm going to talk about today, but it was just a good title. So, and the real topic is, and I did some research on some of these things too. So I actually have numbers that we can look at, and prices. But it's actually how much money are some of us willing to spend to upgrade something that's not that good to begin with, or in some cases that are decent to begin with, or even good to begin with. How much money are we going to put into these things before we just say screw it and get a superior product to begin with? Now, before I go to the actual written down numbers, one that's right at the top of my head, and this is just strictly for the people that are looking for the best representation of a character. So, when Classics first came out, Classics Prime was awesome. It was, what, $20? So, $20 figure. Okay, and then it's like, okay, you know what? But he doesn't come with a trailer. So we want to get the trailer. So then you spend another $70 to get the Fans Project trailer. And some of us bought the BTS trailer because we thought that was going to be good. And it turned out to be crap. It was decent. It was a good alternative for Nemesis, I thought. But then the Fans Project trailer, the actual trailer came out and it was like $70. It's like, oh, that's awesome. So then we got an Optimus Prime that's $90. And then we get the repro labels set for them because, the trailer didn't have anything. And then we're talking, $110. And then, okay, like mine that I use for my reviews, I have Classics Prime right here. And then I have one over there that is for my reviews that actually has a gun that was sent to me by the Dragon Superman. But if you want to buy one of those guns, there's another $10. So maybe we're at $120 or whatever. $120 for a good Classics Prime. Looks great. But the MP10, Masterpiece Optimus Prime 10, the holy grail, or no, I wouldn't call it holy grail, the benchmark. We'll call it the benchmark, or the yardstick. Anyway, the yardstick of the Masterpiece figures is like 150 to 160. If you got the Hasbro release when it went to Toys R Us for that 10 seconds it was out, it was like 110, 120. So it's like, I could understand not buying the MP10 because you're wanting chug scale, but if you're looking for the best representation, it's like, why would you spend $120 to upgrade a Classics Prime to the point where he looks good and he's complete when you can spend just a little bit more and get the MP10, who is pretty much perfect out of the box. You don't have to upgrade it, you don't have to get repro labels, nothing. It's perfect. So it's like, so how much money are we really willing to spend? Now, this is not me saying, one of my examples that I'm going to use here in a minute is Titan class Devastator. And I'm not sitting here saying that you guys are wrong for buying Devastator. I'm not. I don't like that figure. I'm going to be reviewing it later this week. I think it's a good toy, but I don't think it's a good collectible item. That's my opinion, and I'm not saying that people aren't wrong for thinking that it's a good figure. I'm not. Let's make that clear. There's very few things that I'm going to say on this list that I legitimately think are complete shit, and you're wrong if you think it's right or that it's good. One of which being the Combiner Wars Menasor. The individual figures are great. I like them. But the combined mode is trash. Anyway. So I'm not saying that anything like that. It's just like, a lot of people buy the Hasbro stuff because they think that it's cheaper. And that it's they want the official thing, and it's cheaper, it's more cost efficient. A third party deluxe costs anywhere from $60 to $100, whereas a Hasbro deluxe costs 15 to 20, depending on where you get it. So yeah, on the surface it's cheaper, but then then in the long run, is it really cheaper, or is that few dollars you save, is it worth it? So let's get started. List. So we're going to start off with the Combiner Wars Titan Class Devastator, which goes from $140 to $160, depending on where you get it, and up. I think BBTS has it for $140 plus shipping, or you can get it like Toys R Us with free shipping for $160. So I think about $160 is about where you're going to end up spending after shipping costs with certain places. So you get this figure, and it's okay-ish, but you know what? There's upgrade kits. So let's get some upgrade kits going. So we get Dr. Wu's Mixer upgrade figure. That's $72 right there. Yeah, okay, so now you've replaced an entire figure on that set. Then the Reaper labels for the set are $32. So $32 for stickers. Now, some might argue, well, it doesn't really need stickers. Some will argue, oh, no, it needs stickers. But I'm just going with full upgrades here. Then there's the Perfect Effect Combiner set number 7, which has the guns and the elbows. That's $30. And then there's the Perfect Effect Combiner Wars upgrade set number 6, which is $60. That one comes with like the new head, the prowl head, the arms, and the feet. And I think a new gun, but I'm not sure on that one. I can't remember now. And that was $60. So the total what you're looking at spending for a Combiner Wars Devastator fully upgraded is $334 to $354. From $140 to $160 to double the price. More than double the price. It's like, is that worth it? No, if the figure comes out perfect, once you're done spending that money, then yes. But let's talk about some other alternatives real quick. Before we get there, there's also the Transformers Unite Devastator, which has the guns and the elbow fixes. So you don't need to get the Perfect Effect set number 7, which comes with the elbows and guns. So you don't need to do that. So we'll take that out of the equation. But the Unite Warriors Devastator is $120. Plus the mixer upgrade, $72. Labels, $32. And the other Perfect Effect upgrade kit, which is $60. So now you're at $384. You're still $30 more than the max price on the Combiner Wars, the Hasbro version. So $384 to upgrade these. Or here's the other options. We got Hercules. You could get the sets, like when he first came out, it was $600, $100 per figure. But when the sets came out, where you can buy them for the full set, they were selling for about $500. Plus about $53 for the stickers. Plus the upgrade kit, which right now is going for about $32. So you're looking at a total of $585. And that's if you buy retail price. Now, I've seen them go for dirt cheap right now on aftermarket sales. Facebook, I've seen them under $300. I've seen eBay under $300. I got 2 sets for $150. So, if you look, you could get it cheaper. But we're not going to really talk about that, because this Hasbro Devastator, we're going to find this thing cheap real soon here, I'm sure. So $585 to get this set as is, as opposed to $384 for the Unite Warriors. So you're looking at $200 more to get a better figure that actually scales better with Combiner Wars. Now, scale's a different matter. If your scale is the essential part, some of these will work, some of these won't. So, we won't really get into that too much. But so $200, and you got, I would say, a better quality figure. The Generations toy total for all 6 is $569. So $569. So we're actually coming in $15 cheaper than the Hercules set for these guys. And these guys are bigger, and they're more MP styled. So there's something to think about. It's like, do I want Hercules or do I want the Generations toys? Do I want to get? But there's no sticker sets for this one yet, so we don't know how much that's going to come in. And then there's Make Toys. The Make Toys Green Giant, who right now retails at $400 for the whole set, with $35 for stickers. So the total is $435. So that's let's see, from the Unite Warriors upgrade, we're talking $50 difference. And I kind of bash on the Make Toys Giant here and there because he's overcomplicated, but hands down, he's a better figure. He's got better detailing. He's got better engineering. Same thing I think about Hercules, too. I think he's got better engineering, better plastic for both of them. I haven't played with the Generations one, but I'm going to assume that one's probably in par with Warbitron. So it's like one of those, you got to think about this for a minute. It's like, are these upgrades really worth it? When, just for a little bit more, you can get a different full third-party combiner that might actually be better for you. Like the Make Toys Giant, $50 more. Is $50 going to break your bank? When we're talking about spending almost $400 for a $200 figure, and then upgrading it with $200 worth of third-party parts. It's like, at what point is enough for you? That's my question. That's what I want. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just, at what point is enough for you when you say, you know what, I'm just going to go with the third party, or you know what, no, I'm still saving $50, or I want my Devastator to be really big, so the only other options, the Generations, and I don't want to spend an extra $200. Or you could be one of those people that are like, it's fine out of the box, I'm happy with it just right out of the box, I ain't buying any upgrade kits for it. Or you could be the type that are like, you know what, it's fine out of the box, but maybe I'll get one of those upgrade kits down the road. So it's like, you only spend $150 at first go, and then later on, $30 here, there, whatever. That's how I always viewed repro labels. I never budgeted for repro labels for myself. It's like, I'm always happy with just throwing a sticker on there and calling it a day. Alright. Combiner Wars, Superion and Menasor. They go for, if you got them retail, they were $90 a piece. And that's if you did not get Alpha Bravo and you did not get Off-Road. And instead, you were able to get Wild Rider and Slingshot at the retail cost. Not these insane $60, $70 per figure that they're going for right now. That's just disgusting. But anyway, if you were able to get those, they're $90 a set. So that's the price. That's the base price. We're going to start with these guys. So the Perfect Effect upgrade kits for these guys, they're $33 a piece. There's 2 sets. Plus, for Superion, the sticker sheets for Ripple labels are $38. So total that you're spending on Superion is $194. Menasor, the sticker sheet is $42, so you're spending $198. So $194 and $198 for these guys. Unite Warriors is pretty similar, but they're a little bit more expensive because of the Takara. And why would you buy Unite Warriors Menasor? I don't know. But now we're talking $239 for Superion, $243 for Menasor, with the upgrades and the stickers. Um, Other options for these guys. We got the TFC Superion, where you can buy him for about $400 from one of those sites for the set. $420. Plus the Wings of Uranus set, because you cannot buy the Uranus set without the Wings set. Period. No, you will not be happy. And there's $67 worth of stickers. That's where I sit there. It's like when you're looking at the stickers one sheet at a time, and it's like, oh hey, that's only $5. Oh, that's only $10. Oh, that's not bad. But when you look at a whole set, $67 for stickers. I'd rather just buy $10 worth of Autobot logos and stick those on there and call it a day. That's me. Anyway, so $522 for Superion, for TFC Superion, as opposed to the Unite Warriors $239. So it's like, which one's a better price? Well, now we're talking Unite Warriors is half the cost of TFC Superion. So for me, I would say Unite Warriors is a better option. The Menasor, though, you got the Fans Project set, which you can get it for about $370 plus the stickers. So you're looking at $404, as opposed to the $243 that the Unite Warriors was. And so you're talking about $160 more. But here's where I say it's worth it, because that, as much as I don't like the Fans Project Menasor, it is a better Menasor than anything we've gotten so far. And I didn't count Lone Wolf, because I can't recommend Lone Wolf to anybody. So it's like, where do you fall on that one? Now here's the big one. This is the one I really wanted to get out there. So Bruticus. We're going with Fans Project Bruticus on this one, because the Fall of Cybertron one, there's actually too many options for this thing to really count, and it's just insane. I can't even. There's the San Diego Comic Con. There's the Platinum Edition, which is pretty much San Diego Comic Con, so we'll count those as one. There's a Takara version. There's a G2 version. There's the Hasbro retail version. Then there's the Wreckers version. Is that it? So there's 5 different versions of the actual figures. Plus, X-Transbots bought that one, or released that one set, which is still probably the best thing X-Transbots put out. But with a different upgrade kit for each one of those. And then there is the Military Titans upgrade kit. So there's just way too much going on there. Anyway, we're going to go with Fans Project Bruticus, because this is a figure that at the time, and even when I reviewed it last, I thought this figure was awesome. This figure is still awesome. It's a great figure. And for a lot of us, especially me, it was my first outing into a full third-party figure, which was really nice. It was a nice way to start. There was, and I don't think there was really any full third-party transforming figures out there before these two came out. These were like the first. This is what started this trend, because there were third-party companies before that would just be like, oh, here's a new upgrade. Oh, here's an upgrade. And that's it. That's all they would do. But a full figure? This blew everybody out of the water. I remember that. Everyone was like, oh my god! And it changed that set so drastically that it's like, it went from, this set's alright, to this set is awesome. And don't lie to me here. Everyone here that bought that set when it first came out, you guys all agree with me. Deep down, you agree with me. That set was golden. Anyway, so now let's talk about the cost. If you were able to get the Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus when it first came out, we're talking like $20. Because it got clearanced all the way down. I think it was like $20 to $50. It was fucking cheap. But at the height of the Fans Project hype on the upgrade kit, we were looking at upwards of $200 for the set mint. It was insane. Even now, the Unite Warriors one that came out not that long ago, or Transformers United, I think it was called. Um, that started at $100. So it's just like insane. That's not $100 set. Um, but that's where we're going to start our base price on. Is $100 for the Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus. Then you get the Fans Project upgrade kits, which at the time were about $45 a piece, and you had to buy 2 of them, so that's another $90. But now the set itself is $125. So we're going to go with the $125 for the set of the 2. The most common, readily available sets there are. So we're looking at $225 to start. And I didn't even get the Ripper labels set for them on this. So who knows what that one was. But now the problem with the set is it's too small. It doesn't scale with anything. It's just too small to fit anywhere. So now there's a third-party company that's upgrading it. At first they were saying they were just doing the wing, the chest thing. But now they're doing a new head, and new thigh pieces to give them extended legs, which the whole thing looks like just terrible. But some people might like their Fans Project Bruticus and try it out. I'm not going to be one of those people. I at first I was like, that looks okay, but then when I really looked at the picture, I was like, no, it doesn't. It does not look okay. And then I looked at the price and I was like, That upgrade kit is $95. $95 for a chest piece, new shoulders, and thigh extenders. $95. I have to stress that. $95. That is insane. That is just absolutely insane. Why would you spend $95 for this? Now it puts it in the scale with Combiner Wars. But what's the point? What is the point at this point? Why would you want to? At this point, most of us have retired that set, or sold it, or put it in a box and put it under the bed and hid it and said, "It's okay, buddy. It's okay. You did good. You did good." But not anymore. It's not something that most of us will keep on the shelf anymore because it scales with nothing. So with that upgrade kit, we're looking at $320 for the set. Or you could spend the $90 on the Combiner Wars set that's about to come out. That's going to scale better with Combiner Wars because it's Combiner Wars. Perfect Effect's going to release upgrade kit for at least the feet and hands. I mean, that's a no-brainer. They just re-release the same set in gray. It's done. So it's gonna happen. I don't know why you'd want to spend $320 on that. There's also the previously mentioned these guys set, so you can get them you can get this set in any color. You can get the chest piece that makes them look bigger, and you can get the whole individual middle bot, which isn't a very good figure, but you can do that. Or there's also Warbitron at $494, $160 more than this Fans Project set. That's going to be $160 that I will promise you is well spent when it comes to the comparisons of these. So yeah, there you go. That's all I have. Like I said, it's just, for me, it's, I have to weigh it out personally. It's like, while I think the Combiner Wars sets, for the most part, are worth it, and the upgrade kits do a decent job, some do an excellent job, some do okay job, and, well, actually, no, they're all doing an okay job. The hands and feet have their own problems, but they're doing an okay job building them up. But like the Devastator, because he starts at such a higher price than the other Combiner Wars figures, and the upgrade kits for it are such a higher price, it quickly becomes that point of, I really don't want to invest my money in this. I don't. And the same goes with the Fans Project set. As much as I liked the Bruticus Fans Project set back in the day, it's just now it's just not worth the price. It's not worth it. He doesn't scale well for me, and to make him scale well, you have to spend another $95, and he's not a $300 combiner. If you got the original Revenge of the Fallen set for $20, and then you got the original Fans Project set for about $70, you're looking at a $100 combiner. That's a great price. I mean, that is a perfect price for that. $320 is no. I mean, we're pushing giant price with that. and not to mention, the TFC, Hercules, Ares, Uranus, Unique Toys, Predaking, and the Make Toys Giant, both green and yellow. I've seen them everywhere for under $300. So it's like, just look. So that's my question though. It's like, how much money are you willing to spend on your sets to make them look better before you decide, you know what, I'm going to go with third party? Or have some of you just decide, you know what, I'm going to swear off the Hasbro combiner and wait for the third party, regardless of the cost. So, what's your guys' opinion? And then next week we'll be looking at Devastator next week, so it's going to happen. Combiner Wars Devastator, because I am trying to build the Devastator collection that I have going, so that once the Generations set is complete, I'll be able to sit there and do a new war video, like I did the MMC Unique Toys and TFC Predakings, how I compared all those. This time we're going to be able to compare them all with all the giant TFC, Hasbro, Generations, and I'm going to try and get the DX9 one when that one comes out, because that's in Legend scale. I really want to look at that, but I make no promises at this point, because I still have to buy all of Generations and the Make Toys one again. So if anybody wants to give me a Make Toys Giant, let me know. I know nobody will, but I'm just saying, it's an option. I would say hook me up with a good deal with it, but I don't have any money at the moment. Saving everything for TFCon. 3 weeks away? Oh, it's going to be good. I'm going to have so much fun. Anyway, that's it. So what are you guys' thoughts on all this? Is there a point where you can't polish a turd anymore? Or, as my brother said the other day, was, you can't polish a turd. You can roll it in glitter. It's still going to be a turd, but it's going to be a shiny turd.